Good morning, everyone. My name is James Chirwa. So I'll be, just a moment, excuse me. I'll be taking you this morning through the policy implementation. So what policy implementation experience report is all about, we bring to you challenges that we go through, or maybe other issues that we see as we go about doing the business of managing resources based on the policies that are active, or also policies that are about to come active. So in today's session, we'll be looking at, first of all, issues that we've seen from the Consolidated Policy Manual. These are to do with ambiguous text, or what we can put as conflicting text. So as you can see, first of all, we are looking at texts that both exist in the same Consolidated Policy Manual, but giving two varying information. You find that in section 5.461, the policy speaks about 90% requirement if you need additional space. This came about when we reached this first phase of soft landing. But if we go back before that, we had a policy that specified 80%. The text still exists both in the CPM, and some people, when they refer to the policy manual, they get confused or they select what fits them better. And it becomes an issue for us to clarify such a situation. The next ambiguity that we come by is in 5.4 against the text in 5.63. It talks about the period. When you are coming for additional resources, or even the first time, you need to give us your projection of how long or the period that you think the resources that you need would have to be used. So the previous policy had indicated 1 year, 12 months in specific. Currently, the new soft landing specified 8 months. And both texts still exist in the policy, and it's a source of conflict as well. Somebody opts to go for one and the other, and we have to teach them. We have to take them through a process to clarify the whole situation. This conflict was also brought up last year. We had a discussion, and we had at least one solution, which was suggested to say, when there is a policy update or a policy change, like a proposal, they have to specifically state the affected policy section. Over this year, we've noticed that this practice has been adopted by most of the policy authors. They are specifically mentioning which policy section would be affected or has to be altered. Moving forward, the real issue is now, how do we tackle this existing or historical information that we still on the have on the policy manual? So the question to the community is, because here we are dealing with policies that went through the whole discussion and reached consensus, ratified, but what is the best practice? Would staff be accepted or allowed to alter to get to remove the confusing sections that are now no longer valid? This is a question that the community has to figure out and can advise staff on the best way forward. Next up, we'll look at the other issue that comes along when we are handling transfer requests. We have an active transfer policy, which we use but this transfer policy is specific to IPv4 resources. It doesn't consider AS numbers and IPv6. It becomes a challenge if somebody wants to transfer both, but because the policy doesn't allow, we have to stick by the policy. This becomes a challenge. We have to also take the requesters through a teach process so that they become conversant, but it still has impact because there's always a period where we have to make them change some configurations on their routers or systems. So on this challenge, we also know that at least we have mergers and acquisitions, which we conduct based on the guidelines that we have. Mergers and acquisition, we are able to do it, but only on the policy side, there is still a challenge. Fortunately, I can put it that we have active, we don't have a direct update to the current policy, but we have other policy proposals, varying proposals regarding IPv transfers, IP resource transfers, some of which include autonomous system numbers and IPv6. So we think maybe that problem could be eliminated soon, but as of today, as we speak, it is a problem we are facing. Next thing is we are in first phase of soft landing and moving into phase 2 anytime soon. So first phase, the amount of IP resources that AFRINIC, the minimum, can give to an operator, a service operator that's categorized as local internet registries, is a /22. But once we reach phase 2, the implication states that we can give up to a /24 to a local internet registry. However, the challenge is most of the policy text strictly states that LIR's minimum is a /22. Now the request is to the community whether once we reach phase 2 of soft landing, can staff go ahead and change the other policies that speak about /22 as the minimum so that it reflects the current situation. This is another question that is put up to the community for advice. Next one is the implementation of LEM delegation. LEM delegation policy was implemented last year. As you can see from the statistics, when it was implemented, we had such a huge number. There's been a drastic drop. We have seen a change, even though the numbers are still high. We are working hard on trying to get our members to become compliant, to work on their name servers and have them provide the right information. Current statistics show that we have about 14.71% of all our registered LEM delegations that are not, all our registered reverse delegation that are LEM. So what we are doing now is actually we are, even from the beginning, once a member comes for request, we try to do as much teaching to ensure that they become compliant. When they come to register for reverse delegation, they should make sure that their name servers are up and running as required. That's all I have for you today. I'll take questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think he has raised some issues I'm not expecting to talk to.
Can you please advise the speaker to switch off his microphone at the podium, please? Because his microphone is on, is creating interference.